Episode 1 of The Boys Season 4 starts with Victoria Newman stepping out on stage to rapturous applause. As she gives a big speech, Kimiko is there working as a waitress. Alongside the boys, the team crash the party. However, Butcher is out back spewing his guts up. It's a side effect of being on Temp V, of course, and it's a reminder too that he's also on borrowed time. The rest of the team are wary over him, especially as he's tasked with covering their exit rather than actually getting involved in the plan. Elsewhere, Homelander gives Ryan a pep talk backstage, making him repeat the mantra that people are toys for their amusement. He's here to support the new administration, but Newman isn't exactly happy to see him. While they talk, remember what Butcher was told about not getting involved?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, mate.
Well, he very much gets involved and speaks to Ryan when he gets a chance, pleading with him to leave. Unfortunately, Homelander shows and knows that Butcher is on borrowed time. As they leave together, it turns out Zoe, Victoria's daughter, is also a soup. Kimiko and Frenchie find themselves forced to flee by jumping out the window. While the whole team is together, Victoria shows up to see Huey, who's shocked to learn Victoria has dosed up her own daughter with the compound. Unfortunately, Victoria is basically indestructible at this point, and even a bullet to the brain from Butcher, who shows up and goes all Trinity, dodge this on her, doesn't do the trick. After the botched operation, Butcher finds himself forced out, while Mother's Milk faces the wrath from Grace Mallory. 2 agents were killed by Zoe, and their botched intel about using acid to kill Victoria fails spectacularly, especially when Huey hits her with the vial and it does nothing. Butcher meets up with an old buddy called Kessler, who gives him some encouraging words, especially as they're marching closer to death camps, created by Soups to round up humans and dispatch them. For now though, the 7 need new members, and Homelander is sick of everyone around him being yes men. The trouble is they can't exactly say no to him given his power and the fact that Homelander is a bit of a loose cannon. As a result, Homelander decides to pay Sister Sage a visit, one of the recommended Soups who happens to be the most intelligent person in the world. When Homelander arrives, Sage realizes he's going through an existential crisis, but she more than holds her own against him. Homelander is taken aback, but Sage is one step ahead and ends up being a therapist to him as Homelander pours his heart out and retorts how pointless everything is. She essentially compares him to Caesar, encouraging the people to fight amongst themselves and then acting as the hero to sweep in and save them. As a result, Homelander wants her to be part of the 7. Speaking of not saying no, Huey refuses to back down and cut Butcher loose. He's still part of the team and in his eyes, even if he is on the fringes. As for Butcher, he meets with Victoria late that night and tries to strike a deal. In exchange for stopping Homelander and working with Butcher, Newman wants the material Huey has on her regarding the Red River group home. The pair come to a tenuous agreement. Huey shows up at the hospital and finds his father has been admitted. He's a bit of a mess, especially after not answering his call earlier in the episode. Huey is consumed by guilt, while Double M and the others decide to track down Todd and follow him. As they do intel, Todd walks right into a horrible situation. The 7 are there in a warehouse of some sort and Homelander shows alongside Sage. With bats in hand, Homelander wants the 7 to beat Todd and the other hardcore fans to death. They do just that, while Double M, Frenchie and Kimiko watch Homelander leave before heading to his trial. Sage is outside in attendance at the courthouse too, dressed in stylized colours, as Homelander is unsurprisingly found not guilty. She immediately riles things up, throwing coffee and screaming fascist, causing a riot to break out. This is all part of her plan, as both Annie and Homelander end up right in the middle of this. In fact, Homelander has A-Train plant those earlier dead bodies of the hardcore Homelander fans right in the middle of all this, to make Annie and co look like the aggressors. However, they didn't account for Mother's Milk snapping photos of Sage outside the warehouse. As the episode closes out, Butcher ends up seeing Becca in his apartment, who encourages him to do the right thing and be the man that she married. That includes not making a deal with Victoria. Instead of sending her the files, he instead attaches an explicit photo of his ass. And that is where episode 1 of The Boys Season 4 comes to an end. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.